Hey guys, welcome to another session of RBTL, or reading between the lines as we go through the patch notes. Last night I stayed up pretty late to attend the Korean stream because of Flan. For those who were on my stream, do you think that VOD should be in any way, shape, or form on YouTube? Let me know in the comment section below. If I do get enough, positive response, maybe I'll put it up. I don't know though, I'm not quite sure. I said a lot of stuff that now that I think about it, now it is morning. Now that I think about it, I don't know if I should have said, but anyways. It was fun. It was a fun night. I thought about it this morning. Anyway, let's go to the content patch. So a lot of the stuff on the Korean stream was mentioned also in this patch, so I'll do my best to kind of give my thoughts on these areas like I usually do, but now with more context, since it's easier just to digest a video with a voiceover than or a stream than to read the notes, because sometimes there's translation errors and stuff like that. So first things first is Dagger Sicar, or Sicar. I think that's how people are pronouncing it. I always said it's Sicar, so you might hear me say that. But Dagger Sicar update. Now this was shown on the stream. I was very excited because when we were waiting for the stream, I was talking to my stream chat, and we were talking about how cool the side story is, and that Dagger Sicar should be released now because now we have more in-depth personal character development, the chemistry towards each other, between each other, Elagos, Pylus, or Pilus if you call her that, Acid, Akali, and stuff and Haste. It's really cool to introduce it. And then on the stream they announced this, so I was like, oh, super hype. Now it was really hard to imagine what could this be, right? But they totally went with a new route, with a more of a high-end objective-based system with really good rewards. I think players are gonna really love this. So instead of Merchant Union, Memory Chain, Conclave, and stuff like that, where you can, you keep doing tasks and then eventually you'll get rewards. These ones are if you complete it, it's done. It's fine. I think it's totally fine because it just becomes this wall of, again, end game challenges. If you're a beginner, don't expect to do a lot of these. I saw some of the objectives on the live stream, and it was whoa, I don't even know if I can do some of them, honestly. A lot of regearing will definitely be the case, but you have to hit objectives. But they break down to these right now. There's only 4, all right. And knowing Epic 7, they can expand. Right, they expand Dagger Sicar as well. Right now we have Labyrinth, we have Expedition, we have Hall of Trials, we have Hunt. Those are I would say the big ones, right? Maybe eventually in the future there's gonna be Abyss, Abyss replay or something, right? Because remember that once you clear the Abyss floors, you can still replay it. Maybe there's an achievement you can do. So this doesn't mean 0 out of 8, 8 out of 8 on Hunt, 8 out of 8 on Hall of Trials, 8 out of 8 expeditions, 5 out of 5 labyrinth, and then you're done. This will expand with the game, so I really like this format. I really like it. Hard, medium, easy, it's breaking down to those levels. Now hard, easy, medium, easy is going to be subjective as well to the players. If they have certain hero rosters, I saw one that was I think it was something beat Wyvern 13 with all mages or something like that. If you don't have the roster, if you haven't been playing long enough, that might be much more difficult for you, especially if you don't have mages that can do multiple roles. Well, I guess he really only needs debuff, debuff and a tank in front, but you gotta have defense breaks, damage, and stuff like that. That's just one example. So I think again this is gonna be a more end game challenge, mid game, end game challenge, and even for the end game players, I think it's gonna be pretty hard. I think the high end gaming communities are gonna probably get together, and there's gonna be guides. So definitely, if you're watching my content, you're watching other people's content, definitely keep your eye out for that. I think guides are gonna be really prevalent here. So yeah, mission points, and once you complete them you get mission points, and eventually you're going to get these. So these are the mission point rewards. So not completing the mission. So you complete the mission, you get your own set of rewards. So in this example here, receive Dagger Sicar for completing no warriors, no soul weavers. You get 200 of the golden reforge mats. There's Molagora, there's artifact powder, there's a ton of stuff. But for the point reward itself, so if you do more of it, you get these awesome emotes. And based on this, you should be able to use these emotes anywhere in the in-game chat, in real-time arena. This is gonna be crazy, and they have 6 slots locked as well, you know. And this UI panel could be a scrollable one, right? So like in the future, this can expand like way more, right? As long as they expand the content within Dagger Sicar itself, then obviously you can get more total points, and then, you know, but it will take time. And right now, I don't think anybody's gonna really accomplish everything within like the first day. Obviously, I think it'll probably be like maybe 2 weeks to, you know, a month for like the top like whales, which have like everything. And then probably like 3 months down the line, most people will have most of them, and then 6 months maybe for players who are kind of like new at this point. Like if you're watching this video and you're new, maybe like 6 months or something like that. Again, like I said, some of the preview ones, I don't remember everything, but some of the previewed missions did seem pretty difficult, even for myself. So it's gonna be interesting. I probably have to put some time into it. And I think it's just like all the other reputation you see in like Conclave, Phantom CIC. There's like always like a little snippet of like a story or lore. And like I said, I think the side story this Halloween has really gotten me to really like the characters within Dagger Sicar itself, and then the interaction within each character. So I'm definitely looking forward to just unlocking these stories and reading it. Yeah, so anyways, that's my thoughts on Dagger Sicar. Awesome change. Again, I think it gives just more players more incentive to do more stuff. So for example, you're bored of hunts, right? You have the same hunt team, you're gonna do it consistently, but now you have a reason to like change up your hunt team, right? In order to get the reward, even if it's just once or a couple times in order to get the mission completed. I think it's worth it. You know, a lot of people complain about the staleness of Epic 7, and every gacha game at the point of Epic 7 right now will be stale. There will be stale aspects to it, and Epic 7 is just thinking of like different ways of making it more exciting for us, and I love this way, to be honest. 10 times multi-summon update is the next one here. I always think this is great. I always wanted this, especially at the beginning. When you're a newer player, I think you want to spam it as much as possible. Now there's always going to be superstitious people who are thinking that, oh, I get more 5 stars if I pull 101. It's probably not going to be all out there, but I know there are going to be people like that, or people who think that they just get better luck once they spam it. It would definitely feel like more luck, because literally you're clicking once and you're getting a result of 10, right? And 1 5-star will make you think that you were luckier, right? In terms of like, you know, how this changes, I don't think it really will change much for an individual unless you have the joy of clicking on every single one. Most people are going to use the 10 times summon, and myself, because I do like these viewer summons and stuff. I mean, I'll let you guys choose. If you want me to do your summons for you, I'll let you guys choose. Do you want me to spam the 10 times summon, or do you want me to go one by one? I don't really care. It's up to you guys. Obviously the 10 times summon will go quicker, so less hype, I guess. But I think. Individually speaking, if you're most likely going to use a 10 times summon, unless you just want to be like, oh, I want to pull 13, then you probably do 1 10 times summon and then, you know, 3 individuals. Arena Ardor season already out, so season they're pushing the arena seasons pretty quick. New frames, I think is this down here. That looks really cool. When they were showcasing, I was like, I like this set the most out of all of them. I mean, arguably speaking, you could say like, you know, they're all pretty similar, but they're going with like the set, which I really like. I like this set a lot. And the arena frames versus like the world arena frames, they're definitely going with totally different design philosophies going in. You can tell. I was saying this before, but the world arena ones are always on a tilt, like a 45-degree axis. And then these ones are always symmetrical on a vertical axis, which is really cool. It's just kind of interesting to see like the kind of design philosophy going into it. And then yeah, of course, with a new arena season unlocked, we get an expanded story for the arena itself. I don't know if anybody actually remembers all the story together, because it's like months apart. So I kind of roughly remember. I think this guy ended up being a good guy or whatever. The guy on the right. He reminds me of like an enemy from Mega Man, Mega Man X. Anyways, he's always reminded me of that. I think he's like almost loosely based off Mega Man sort of design, similar like body design. And then yeah, there's a 5-to-1. I think it's the Glory Crest to. So whatever you have in terms of Glory Crest will be 5-to-1 returned back into your conquest points or something like that. The new arena sets, I think every single set you're gonna get roughly the same responses on both spectrums. You're gonna see like, oh, this is really good, this is not really good, because everybody has a different design in mind in terms of like what to use that set on a who. I think the chest is really good. I think for counter set you need some bulk, so most of them I would want to see like HP and defense. Weapon I think is really solid. There's nothing wrong with that. If you're building like say a counter DPS, like a bruiser, the weapon is like 100%. You want that. The chest 100% is fine. The I would say the helmet is maybe a bit lacking there. That could instead of using attack, most likely you'll be using some kind of HP bruiser with it, maybe. Instead of attack, maybe crit damage, maybe speed, but it's okay. But the effect resist, once you see the effect resist, you start going, don't really want to touch that, because you know we'll end up with like 24% effect resist helmets, right? The same with the boot. The boot, I was saying that I would rather not have speed. Like if you keep the effect resistance in there, fine, but I'd rather not have speed. I'd rather just have HP. That's me personally though. And then crit damage, health is good too. That's fine. I think the neck is okay as long as it rolls high and you get the right rolls. I think it's okay. And then the ring, I'm kind of half on. You got crit chance, you got speed, but you don't have crit damage, you don't have attack, you don't have health, you don't have defense. Oh sorry, health is the main. Sorry. Effectiveness and effect resistance split is always the weird one for me. It's very rare that you would find a hero that needs both of those. So when I'm looking at these pieces, I'm always looking at like, do the substats actually work on someone, like just the individual piece? And I would say the ring is probably one of the weakest ones here. I would say ring and helmet on this one is the weak ones. Side story week 3, Blood and Roses. I was talking in a stream chat yesterday again. I love this side story. I'm very immersed in it. I think Conwell's character is really cool. I really think Conwell should make a return maybe next Halloween as an actual hero. Yeah, sure, why not? Even make him limited, right? You've made some weirder ones limited, Smilegate, so like even make him limited, and I think he would be cool. He would be like the first like full-grown man that's a vampire, which is cool. And when you look at him in the side story, yes, he doesn't have animation in his images, but his design, like the art is very detailed. You know, like the difference between like those villagers that you talk to, like the generic villagers. You could probably think of the ones I'm talking about right now, the guys and the girls. They're like very generic. Like yeah, they're colored and all that stuff, but the line work is not as detailed. Conwell's is very detailed. So I really do think that he could come back. He could come back maybe next year as an actual summonable hero, which would be really cool. I love the story so far. I think last Halloween, because we only had Melissa, and it wasn't like a Halloween special, I think. Oh, I see. I remember. It was like the Yuna. It was like the haunted house one. We had a return event. This year is like 3 weeks. So like the Melissa story, the Blood Moon Haste, like Conwell and all that stuff, it just becomes much more rich. I just love the story in this one. Like I'm actually looking forward to this. I don't review side stories a lot, but I love this one actually. Pavel and Vildred drop rate up. So Pavel is a very good cleaver. I keep saying this and I'm kind of sorry, I'm procrastinating. I am making a Pavel showcase video, PvP, and he's a very solid cleaver. Like I would say, like right now to me in the right setup, he's more reliable than Blaze Dingo and Arbiter Vildred. I use him a lot. You guys will see it. But at the point of this, like, I don't know, I think people might I mean, you won't be able to see that video before deciding whether or not to pull on it, but maybe if that video comes out, maybe it'll be useful for Pavel return again. At this point though, I would say that unless you're a cleave player, Pavel won't really help you much. I have seen people build Pavels at like 270 speed or something like that, to be an extra crit rate booster for Challenger Dominion for CDOM. So I mean, that's another option. He's a ranger, so if you're going to use him that way, you can set him on a guiding light as well. I'm talking about like 270 speed with like really good damage. So like it's all possible, but I guess you would need for like a newer player, I wouldn't suggest Pavel. He's a bit more like, you need like the right heroes to make it really work. Vildred on the other hand though, I have to say, man, him returning it now with the artifact as well, I'm going to talk about the artifact too. This one's a really decent banner to pull on. Vildred still, time and time again, is still one of the best farmers, unless you got Arbiter Vildred. He's one of the best farmers for you in the game. He is usable still in PvP, usually as a, we call cleanup cleaver. So after you have a primary cleaver and he does like the cleanup, and he will finish off someone because of his passive as well. He has speed imprints for himself, so the only one that's a 5-star speed imprint, the AoE 12 speed, is huge. So pulling for him is like, you know, super valuable. And then also if you do have RB, 18% on RB's base attack is super high. So I mean, I don't really see any reason not to pull on this banner. It's just more of like, if you're completely free to play and you know you're kind of low on bookmarks, and maybe you're worried about a limited hero coming up, then I would say you don't pull on it. Otherwise, in almost all scenarios, you should pull on this. The artifact. Okay, so let me talk about the artifact here. I think from the reading of this is a pretty strong artifact. For most of the artifacts that are coming out, accompanied with the older RGB heroes. So like the old RGB heroes now, Smilegate is like giving them each an artifact with their face on it, pretty much. This one is one of the stronger ones. So when using a skill that targets all enemies, I'm talking about the max level one, penetrates the target's defense by 20%, and then while defeating an enemy with a skill that targets all enemies, increases combat readiness for all allies except for the caster by 10%. So really this is designed for Vildred, but I know a lot of people are already theory crafting other thieves that can use this, and 100% I do agree, but it's more of like the both end aspect of this ends up being like, this is a perfect green Vildred artifact. So the only reason why I said that Vildred was a cleanup cleaver is because his S3 does a lot of damage. You can soul burn it for even more damage. Usually by the time he gets a turn in your cleave comp, he would have Aliha's knife, which needs the enemy's HP not to be at max for it to inflict 20% defense penetration. Now this code totally bypasses that, so like, does that mean that he could be a primary cleaver now? And then the very fact that once you kill, you increase the entire team's combat readiness by 10%. So let's say you kill one target with the S3, and then he does Dancing Blade, his S2. That's also an AoE. If you end up killing someone else, I do believe you actually get 20% CR boost based on this. Right, because it doesn't limit it to one time. It's just when defeating an enemy with the skill targets all enemies, increase combat readiness by by 10%. So, like, I think in terms of like, if you have this artifact, if you have green Vildred, this might be a really good artifact for him to use, even while farming. You know, even while farming. I know people use Dust Devil and stuff like that, but because you don't need Aliha's knife, you don't need them to be lower than max health. This might end up being like a really good artifact. So PvP, PvE, I think it's all really good. And no artifact should be OP, especially when it's like, you know, a returning RGB hero. And so I wouldn't say this is OP, but I think given what it has a lot of potential to be used. And so if you do pull on the Vildred banner and you get the artifact, super lucky. I think I'm going to pull on some Vildred. I think I need him now. Anyways, Japanese media pack, Calric, Vivian, and Melissa is entering. That's fantastic. There's a couple things I wanted to say here. The game guide is getting improved, the in-game one. I'm not going to talk about that too much. I don't think a lot of people use it. Just a couple things I wanted to mention down here. So I read this. I don't think this said that specifically, but there was one thing that was mentioned, previewed on the live stream. That World Arena, and I don't think it's locked in mock battles. I think they're intending to do this for the legit like ranking battles. that you won't be able to see the name of your opponent when you're fighting. I'm split on this one. I don't know if that's a good change. I know that will probably be the biggest change that people will talk about. I think based on this list of improvements, I don't think people are gonna talk about it that much. But I think this change that was mentioned on stream about not knowing who your target is, I'm half. It will make it a bit more competitive because you won't know which player. So like the top end players and people who are around like high champ legend or whatever, like most likely you're gonna run into the same guys over and over, so you'll like know the player's weaknesses, so to speak, because I mean there's only a certain amount of time you do need, like even if they're a whale, they need time to gear, they need time to find gear, they need time to find mola. So like let's say for example you fight someone usually that that they have like a 250 speed but benevolent Roman, right? And you could always contend that, but then now you won't know, right? So there's that aspect to it. But the other aspect is like I don't know what they're trying to do. I guess it's more of just make it more fair, maybe kind of like Arena Blind Day, I guess, maybe. I'm not quite sure. Anyways, let me know what you guys think about that. Like I said, I'm 50-50. I think it could be a good change, but I don't think it's a necessary change. It's because it's PvP, right? Like you kind of want to know who you're fighting and see if you actually eventually beat them. Let's say if you lose to someone always and then you eventually beat them, you want to kind of know you beat them, you know what I mean? Anyways, this UI change I don't like. I think this is pretty funny. So I was watching Mashu and New bring it up, and they were saying that they're looking into gear inventory, and usually they can't really spot what's max level or whatever. But there's so many filters, like you literally can like categorize them or sort them by max enhance, and the plus 15 there honestly is enough to let me know that this is maxed. I don't know if I needed it to be red. The reason why I didn't like the red is because like if you notice like in the UI, they don't have a preview here actually, but if you have only epic and heroic gear, it's all really red, right? And the thing is that the purple on the heroic is actually, from like a color spectrum wise, is actually very close to red. So if you actually there are these like filters you can toggle on your desktop for color blind testing. I don't know if they did it. If you did a color blind test, you actually can't see the red on red and then the red on purple, so heroic. But when it's orange, because there's no such thing as orange gear, that orange is bright, right? Like look. If I scroll down like this, like really quick, like I think on the artifacts it may make a bit of difference because the artifact have a lot of gold borders. But even right now, like I'm doing this, and sorry if this bothers you guys, but I'm just trying to make a point. It's not really a big UI improvement, and in fact I don't think it's an improvement at all. I think it's actually a regression. I think it's regressed. That's my opinion. Now, if you guys think that, well, what is Jang talking about? I am a UI designer by trade in terms of like video games, so I kind of know what I'm talking about. Let me know what you guys think about that as well. Like, am I being too complaining? In my opinion, it's not gonna break the game, right? It's not gonna break the game. It's just more of like, it's interesting that they actually thought that would be better. So I don't know if they actually put this to a user test. I do feel that I'm not really biased on this. I really do feel that most players would be either meh, I didn't really need it, but okay, that's kind of cool, or players will actually go towards what I was talking about, where I actually can't see it as much. The thing is that like Epic 7 actually did really well already doing the plus 15, plus 30 as you see on the screen there. The numbers and the node itself is actually well designed with right kerning, right spacing for you to actually tell right away what that number is. Okay, so like Smoky, if you're listening to this and you actually want to revert the work, I don't think it's gonna hurt your UI. It's just not a good use of your resources to go down UI designs that don't really help. I think the game. we're going to get used to it. That's just human nature. We're going to get used to bad UI, but it's just more of like it's unnecessary change. This change is okay though. You do get like these little slivers on the HP bars. It might be small on my screen there, but you get like HP slivers on the HP bar. You get to see their cooldown. Especially on the enemies, those seeds on the top. This, like, for example, like this would be a better change. Like in terms of UI, this is an additional change that actually does improve. There's other improvements, but I just wanted to talk about that. Oh yeah, this one, the last thing I wanted to touch upon is Magic Scholar Doris. So update will have her arm image. I found this really funny because I remember last time when when I was reviewing Magic Scholar Doris, and like I said, I do read all the YouTube comments. Like every single comment you guys post, I read them all, whether if it is salty or you know, funny. I read everything. And I remember when I was reviewing the Magic Scholar Doris, I was like, there's something wrong with their image, and I remember like this comment, it's so funny. These guys are just like, yes, her arm, and then it's like Jagan X, her eyebrow. I didn't notice her arm was so screwed up. It was just, I don't know, man. Like, to me, eyebrows, I mean, if you don't have good eyebrow, why am I gonna look at your arm, right? It's like dating advice from Jag. I'm just kidding. I'm not trying to be toxic, but like honestly, like if there was like if there was a lady I'm interested in, like I see her from afar, if she doesn't have like attractive eyebrows, I'm not gonna notice if her arm is twisted, right? But obviously, Smoutgate even think that this is a problem. They don't think anything's wrong with her eyebrow, man. They don't think anything's wrong with their eyebrow. So apparently the arm image is getting adjusted. Anyways, that is it for this one. I do think that there's some big changes coming in. The Dagger Sicar, really excited. I just want to see like what are the missions, what are the rewards, like all of them. Side story, cool. Vildred, I think he's must pull, man. He's like one of the only RGB heroes I would recommend pulling until you get both triple lust. Anyways, I'm gonna end this for the video recording. If you guys have any comments, please drop it down below. I'm gonna end this here. If you guys have Discord, check out the Discord server, follow me on Twitter, subscribe to YouTube if you haven't. As always, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next one.